You know what he's slurping up. Wait. Hello.
Hi.
Good.
Well, Morgan.
Hi, Morgan.
My ears are a little jelly today.
Really? Hi.
I prefer to use the laptop.
More.
I know.
Because this points up.
She's
I
so
know.
pretty all day.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, Tammy.
Hi,
How you doing?
good. How are you?
Good. Not too bad. How's Sky doing?
She's good.
Good.
Yeah, the less jumping on people outside, which is good.
Good. Nice.
I did the Find It game with her and then give her treats when she looked back.
Perfect. Yeah, the more we can do that, the more we can encourage them to check back in with us. When those things happen, it becomes more of like a default thing, which is much nicer. It's a much more appropriate thing. If you see a person look at me, don't just jump all over them, which we're still struggling with that. How's Cashy doing?
He's good. He's had a good
Good.
week.
Good. How are his downs?
He's still not doing a full down. He just kind of.
No, he did. He just as you said, he went down.
Right now, I guess he's doing one.
Yeah, that is tricky.
Yeah, I think he's teething a bit this week. He's been biting sleeves a lot more.
Yeah, it's about that age. There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we lost someone now. Who did we lose? We've lost. Oh no, everyone is here. It just moved. Everybody's moved for some reason. How's Scout doing, Kim?
Scout had another good week.
Good.
Yeah, she's just gone outside after her nap. She'll be here any minute.
Perfect. That's good news. Good to hear. Oh, yeah, sorry, with the teething, it is quite we're gonna do a little bit of that today. That leave it and that off for when he does bite on clothes and stuff. With teething, I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but with teething, sometimes a nice thing to do for them is like a rope toy or a rag soaked in chicken broth and then put in the freezer. And then it's a cooling kind of chewy toy for them that's really nice. And anything cooling for them when they're teething is really good. It's going to be, he's doing it again. Sorry, watching Cashew just go after your shirt there.
I'm going to go grab him a freezer toy.
Okay, sounds good. He's like, I want to play and bite. If he's going after your clothes too, he might be looking for some play with something soft too. Do that to start off, maybe. Is everybody else teething? Everyone else going through all that? Yeah. Has anybody found any teeth? You found some teeth? No, not from Sky, but maybe from Scout. That's fun.
Yeah, she's getting a lot more teeth. I don't know if it's hard for me to tell if she's lost any or what's happening, but definitely getting more at the back.
Yeah, they do normally swallow them. Or,
Yeah.
But if you're lucky, if you get to find one, and I managed to find almost one of every type from Gypsy, which is kind of cool. There she is. Hi, Scout.
Can you say hi?
She's so big now. It's so crazy.
I know, she's so big. Almost 6 pounds.
6 pounds. That's so
Big in relation, yes.
Yeah, from when I first met her. And Morgan looks huge. I don't know if it's the camera angle there, but she looks pretty big. Perfect. All right, well, we'll get
It's
going.
camera angle. You can see my hand.
Okay, she's still pretty small then.
For scale.
All right, so we'll get started. We'll do just get them
Get there.
warmed up. We'll do some puppy push-ups. So we'll do a few of those puppy push-ups if we can, or with Cashew, we'll work on that. Some sits.
We're on.
Try the down. If it's not working, do some sits and some stands. So we'll just do a few of them just to get them going, get them thinking, get them doing things. Hi, baby. Perfect. Perfect. We should do a few of those. We'll mix it up a little bit now. I know we were doing some stands. Perfect. I think I see Morgan about to do a stand. So we'll mix it up a little bit. We'll do throw a couple of stands in there. So see if you can do a couple of sit, down, stand. Mix up the order if you can too. So they're not learning in that behavior chain. We're not learning that a sit is then followed by a down, then followed by a stand. So maybe try some stand to a down to a stand, just to kind of mix it up a little bit, sort of throw that off. With Cashew, I'm going to send you a video separately as another way of teaching him. Sorry, she's yelling at the treats behind me. Another way of shaping him into that down, which might be a little bit easier for him. So I'll send you that video afterwards on that one. Everyone's stand is going well. Looks pretty good. Good job, Cashew. Good. When you're doing your stand, if they don't touch your hand, but they do stand up still, I would still take that, because the idea is for them just to kind of stand up, not necessarily to touch a hand there. So just do a few of them, kind of get them going. Excuse you. Okay, let's go. Good. We have a tail chase over here. You okay? Perfect. And with puppy push-ups and things, if we are doing it with a lure in our hand, so with a little treat in our hand, I'm going to encourage you to maybe do just 2 or 3 more with no lure in your signal hand, but your treat behind your back. So you're still going to reward, but with no treat in your signal hand. Yeah, you go, Scout. That was a hard one, that down. I saw that. That's it. Morgan loves this, I think. She's just having a whale of a time over there. Good job. That's perfect. Good job. So we'll just do one more of those. Either a stand up, sit down, whatever signal you want to get to. Can we not do that? I'm gonna have that. Thank you. Thank you. And then I'm gonna make Gypsy work, because she's clearly ready to do something. All right, perfect. So we're gonna move on, and we will do today we're gonna do, I think I had said we would do leave it and off. And there's a few different ways of learning leave it and off. Before we get into that leave it, we're just gonna do a watch me. And that's going to be encouraging them to do some check-ins with you. So it's basically look away from something that is distracting, something that you want, and look at me instead. It encourages those natural check-ins. It encourages them to want to keep looking at you. Sorry, she got spayed this week, so she's a bit like extra spun because she can't do the things she wants to do. Gosh. So with a watch me, we're going to start off very easy. We're going to start off with a treat because it's easier for them to usually look away from a treat than say another dog or a toy. Excuse you. I'm going to grab a treat and I'll show you how to do it. Okay. What I'm going to do, and you're going to trust me a little bit on this one because you won't be able to see what she's doing. But I'm going to take a little treat in my hand. And I'm going to show Gypsy that I have the treat, and then bring it up to kind of eye line, but far enough away that I can see what her eyes are doing. If it's too close, I may not see that eye movement very quickly. And if it's too far away, it's going to be really hard for her because it's going to be hard for her to look so far away back to me. So I kind of like, I'm a little teapot. I kind of do it like this. And so I will show it to her. I will say, watch me. Yes. And then I'm waiting for that eye movement from the treat to my face. You may find your pups doing all kinds of other things. They may try a sit, they might try a down, they might try jumping up, whatever, but you're just going to wait them out until you get that movement. You may only get a very, very quick, like, blink of an eye movement over. Excuse you. You okay? Oh, it's choking over here. You all right? But I would still mark and reward the moment those eyes touch you, hit your face. What I'm going to get you guys to do actually is have a treat behind your back. And so we're going to be rewarding with the treat from behind our back, not the one that they're looking at. We're not always going to get, if it is, say, a squirrel or a person that we can't say hi to, we're not going to be able to go always and get that reward. But so we're going to learn that reward can come from somewhere else. So again, I'm going to show it to her, say, watch me. Yes. And then she gets the treat from behind my back. She did look at me at that point, but you obviously trust me. And when we say watch me, we're just going to say it one time. I don't want to have to keep repeating myself, as tempting as it is, because they're not looking at you. At some point, I promise you, if you're not saying anything and you just stood there like this, your puppy's eventually going to turn around and be like, what do I have to do to get that treat? And you're going to say, that, yes, here you go. Watch me? Yes. So give that a bit of a go. And if saying look at me or something like that comes more naturally, or you've already been practicing like look at me, say look at me, you're focused, or whatever it is that you've been that comes out more easily for you. It doesn't have to be watch me specifically. And I'm just trusting you that they're looking at you because I can't see their faces. That's a crunchy one, Sky. Watch me. Watch me. If we're struggling with puppies, I would say probably more so with Sky than the littles. What can normally one of the ways of us making this harder for our puppies is that we bring those treats closer to their face, or that treat closer to their face. Being that we're all sat on the floor right now, we're already quite close to them. So if we are struggling, it might be because we're too close to them. And so what we could do then is either kneel up and sort of add a little bit more space away from them, between the treat and them, or standing up and saying, hi, Sky. Oh, she's signed out. We can stand up and move ourselves away if that makes it a little bit easier, because one of the progressions to make it harder would be to get closer, but we are quite close because we're all sitting with them on the ground. So, but they seem to be doing pretty well with that. Yeah, so I'm getting nods from Kim there. Yeah, nods from Lauren. Good, and it looks like Morgan's getting some rewards there, so she's doing pretty good too. All right. So we've got that one. So what we are going to make that one a little bit harder for you guys for homework. One of the ways, as I've said, one of the ways to make it a bit harder is to bring it a little bit closer. But the other way is to bring out 2 treats. So now obviously they're going to get to have one of the treats that we have. Same thing, I'm going to put 2 treats away. And now our eyes are going to be, which one do I look at? Which place do I look at? And when they do land on our face, that's when we say yes, and we reward with one of those treats. So what it would look like, Gypsy is now lying down, of course. I'll do that. I'm just gonna put them here. Watch me. Yes. And then reward with one of the treats. So again, putting 2 treats out. Mine are quite low because Gypsy's not looking at them. Yes, she's just looking at me. But the same idea, 2 treats. Watch me. Yes. And eventually you'll get to the point that they'll refuse to even look at the treats when you try and give it to them. Watch me. Yes. Scout's just like, I'm just going to go for a wander myself. Just wander around. Oh dear, Cashew. Wondering what could be helpful. Do you have a leash handy today? Because I'm wondering what we could do with him maybe is put him on a leash, and then when he's jumping up, we can almost like step on that leash, or we could maybe work standing up with him if he just keeps jumping up to bite your jumper today.
Okay.
Might make it a little bit easier for him.
I'll go grab his leash.
For you more than him, I suppose. Oh, monkey. All right, once you've done a few more of those, go ahead and have a little play with your pup. I think Morgan's already getting some massages there. So some massages, some play, or some find it or something. What are you doing, dog? This is how my puppy's relaxing right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Crazy floofer? That's your place. Don't eat that. Perfect. Yeah. So then with Cashew, it might be easy just to work it. If he does start to jump up and stuff, you can almost work standing up and then sort of step on that leash if he starts to try and jump up your clothing. He may well grab your leggings, but at least this is the top seems like it's more fun because it's a bit more flowy. But
yeah, he doesn't really go after my legs or my pants. Just
good.
Always, yeah.
I found that I was, well, with her and most puppies, I was fine until I put my PJs on, and my PJs are nice and flappy, and those things are really fun. All right, so we'll move on to do some of that off and that leave it. Oh, before we move on, actually, the one thing I think I probably harp on about this every week, but with that watch me as well, whenever you are out on a walk with your dog, whenever they check in on you, especially if they've been looking at another dog or a squirrel or something that's in the distance, if they're looking and they disengage from it and they look at you, absolutely mark and reward that. That's really going to help them want to walk with us nicely on a leash. It's going to be really encouraging them to check in with me no matter what's going on, and if there's something fun, check in. I have something fun too. So rewarding right now anyway, rewarding every time that they do check in with you on a walk is going to really help with lots of different things. That is not what you're supposed to be eating. So with our off or our leave it, what I'm going to get you guys to do is pick one of the cues. I use leave it. I think most of the trainers use leave it. Jen, our head trainer, uses the word off. Whatever word you want to use or cue for a leave it, just pick that and keep it consistent. It is obviously, as it says on the tin, it is asking our puppies to leave something alone. I reserve it for leave it alone, leave that thing alone with your mouth. So I wouldn't say leave it for don't go and say hi to that person. I use leave it as, if you have something in your mouth, I want you to let go of it and give it back to me. If you haven't touched it yet, don't touch it. That's my leave it cue for all of that. Sorry, Gypsy is eating her little blanket here. And so we're going to start off with making it very easy to start off with. We're going to start off with some food to get them to leave. We're also, when we're teaching a leave it cue, there's actually going to be 4 different ways or 4 different types of leave it that I'm going to talk about today. We're also, with the first one, going to be teaching a take it cue. I have a really nice video of what happens if we don't distinguish a take it from and a leave it. When I'm asking my puppy to stay away from a specific thing, if they get to have that thing back, I'm going to say take it, because they can have that thing, which is obviously going to be very different from if it's like a pizza slice on the floor that I'm not going to then say take it. I don't want to say leave it, then yes, and then have them go and get that thing. So to start off with, I'm going to teach them what leave it means and what take it means. And so to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nice little tasty snack in my hand. I'm going to show Gypsy that I have it, and then close my fist up. When I close my fist up, I'm going to say leave it, and then I'm just going to wait. She's done this quite a few times, so she might not do what other puppies would do, which is usually to nibble around at our hand, try and get a hold of it, try and sniff in there, lick, maybe scrabble with their paws, that kind of thing. But you're still just going to wait it out. You're going to hold that treat still, and the very moment they move their own head away, you're going to say yes and take it, and then open up your hand and they can have that specific treat that you just told them to stay away from. Try and avoid moving your own hand away. I really want this to be a decision that she makes to move her own head away, and that's what a leave it is. A leave it is not me moving it away from you. So what it would look like, and again, she might not go for it. I probably should get something even tastier than this, but I'm just going to show her that I have it. I'm going to say leave it. Yes, I'm going to say yes because she's not actively trying to get at it. She's not moving her head further away, but she's not trying to get it. So again, leave it. Yes, take it. And that yes and that take it, because she gets to have this one. Does that make sense to everybody? You may find that there's some more scrabbling. I see Scout is interested in what is in your hand there. So when we've obviously done this quite a lot, especially even the last little while, leave it. Yes, take it. But it's just a case of waiting them out. They're going to be scrabbling. Even if it is even if it's a very quick movement away, just a very subtle, like, okay, I would still say yes and take it. Take that moment. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, give that a little go.
Megan?
Yep.
Could you explain how to do that again? Like, do I have to put it in my hand?
Yeah, so I would put the treat in your hand like this. I'm going to, hi Sky. I'm going to show Sky and then close your fist up and say leave it. And when you close your fist up, you're just then going to wait. The moment Sky moves her own head away, even if it's just, you know, she's going to be scrabbling and scrabbling, even if it's just a little bit of a movement back, a tiny movement back, yes, take it. Because it's going to be, she's going to get bored eventually and want to give up. The moment, even if she turns her head away to look at something else or something distracts her, I would take the opportunity and say, yes, take it, because she moved her head away from your hand. Yes, there. So that I would definitely give her that one. Thank you. If you can keep your hands there, well, I know their teeth are sharp right now, and if they really are biting, it's not pleasant. But if you can kind of keep your hand still and have her move instead of moving your own hand away, that's going to help too, because I really don't want her to figure out that she has to move her own head. The only way to get that treat in your hands is with a little bit of patience and to move away and then to get it that way. And Morgan is trying, she's like, I'll try it down, I'll try a sit, I'll wag my tail, I'll just look cute. Do I get it that way? How's Cassie doing? You can just nod if I know you're far from the computer. We need like a mute remote.
Yeah. He had his Kong before, so he's a little more interested in the Kong than
Oh, fair.
the treat in my hand right now.
Is the Kong on the couch?
I put it up on a divider, but I can do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe if it's maybe move it further away, but if it's already far away, then it's, you know, maybe hide it if you. Is it? No. Good job. All right, so maybe do one more like that, and then we will do the another way, which is very similar, very simple too. All right, so the next way is going to be basically the same, except that we're taking two treats and we do not say take it. So we're not letting them have the treat that's in our hand. So I'm going to show the treat or the kibble. I'm going to say leave it. And then when they move their head away, the treat comes from behind my back. I say yes, and I give the treat with the other hand. I do not give the one in my hand. I have a great video of Sarah, one of our head trainers, doing this with a dog out on the street, and she does a leave it, and he does a beautiful leave it. It was luckily from a treat that she had placed, so it wasn't something dangerous. And when she said yes, he went straight back in for that treat again, even though she meant no, come to me instead. So I'll send you that video as well. You can kind of see the difference of like, sorry, take that thing or come to me for a treat instead. So again, what that's going to look like, I know I'm a little bit close to the camera here. I'm going to say leave it. Yes, and I'm going to give the treat with the other hand. So again, leave it. Yes. But I would keep your fist closed on this one if they're still working at your fists. Leave it. Yes, take it. Yeah, good job, Scout. Yes, good job, Sky. I saw that. Yeah, good job, Morgan. Leave it. Yes, take it. Leave it. Yes, take it. Good job. If Cashew really can't concentrate right now, you'll have the recording of this if you want to review this a little later too. Leave it. Yes. This is a really nice impulse control game, and it might not seem right now because we have the treats in our hands that this is going to equate to leave that squirrel jerky on the street alone, but we will make it a little bit harder. We'll do a little bit, a few more progressions a little bit later on. One thing you can begin to work on, I think everyone's doing pretty well. So one of the first progressions that we would do would be to slowly start to open up your hand. So what I would do is I would say leave it. I would say leave it, and then when they've moved away, and this I would probably move on to starting this off when they are consistently moving away when I say leave it and are able to stay away for like a second or two, and then I'm going to start to slowly open up my hand. And every time they go back to get that treat, if I have not said yes or take it, then I'm going to close my fist up. I'm not going to say leave it again. I'm going to just communicate with my hand that you don't get this until you back off of it with it open. So that would be one of your progressions for that. I'll try and show you a gypsy, which is probably just not going to go for it at all, but we shall see. So leave it. And then I would slowly open. Yes, take it. And I'm waiting for her to leave it from more of an open palm thing. So that's something else that you guys can work on. If it's going really well and you want to start giving it a go now, you can, but what I probably would wait until they are consistently, when you say leave it, they go, okay. And then I would move on to starting to open up that hand. And then next couple of weeks, we'll do a few more progressions with that as well. I'll let you do, I think Sky's working on a couple there, and then if you guys want to do a little bit of a play, if you have a toy that they particularly like to play tug with, or yeah, tug with, that's where I was going with that. If you have a toy that they like to play tug with, if you want to grab one of those, we are going to use that a little for the next sort of leave it. So sort of leave it with a toy, which is sort of practice and similar to the way we would leave it from our flappy pajamas and fun tops that flap around. Actually, if you guys also, if you do have something like a Kong or a chew as well, we will talk about doing that as well. If you have something that they are interested in like that. Yes. Nice. Oh, cashew. Yeah, if you want to do a quick find it break even or something, I think, well, that's a fun looking car, Morgan. All right. We will just move, we'll move now on to sort of a leave it or a game of tug with our puppies and leaving it during tug. You may already have been doing this a little bit already during a game of tug. Tug is a really nice game for our puppies. It mimics natural behavior. It mimics them grabbing something and ripping it and killing it, which I'm sure especially Mr. Cashew likes to do, being a terrier type. So he loves to just, you know, get in there and tug and kill some things. So it's going to be what we're going to be doing with our toys is we're going to try and get our puppies interested in our toys. So we're going to be moving it around, getting them into it. And then when we use our leave it cue, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to be using that same leave it cue because we want them to drop this thing that's in their mouth that they already have. It's good to use a toy to start with because they are allowed to have that, and I'm not practicing with like an expensive bag or something like that. I'm using a toy. I'm going to get her interested in the toy, and while I'm playing, it's alive, it's great, it's fun. When I drop my leave it cue, everything goes dead. The whole thing goes dead. I'm gonna my hands are even gonna cut if her mouth is right in here, I'm gonna almost close my hands up really close to it around her face, and it goes dead. I may even bring it into me because if it's out at a distance, we're still going to be getting that tugging action. They can kind of still make that happen. So I might even bring it in, hold everything really, really tight and low. The moment she lets go, or even if you have a dog in particular who likes to bite, even just a loosening of the grip to start with, I would say yes, and then I would take it again, and then make it alive again, so make it more fun. So letting go of it makes it come more alive and more fun again, and we get something good out of it. Excuse you. So I'll see if I can get her to be interested in this. I don't want to play too rough because she did just get spayed. Oh no. Okay, just fully dropped all of my snacks onto the ground. She's having a big find it right now, so give me a minute. Okay, let's try that again. And now she's just looking for snacks. But not, while she's looking for snacks, I'll just sort of explain. If you are playing tug with your dog, it's a really nice thing to do this and get them to let go of the toy every now and again. It does help them learn to get excited and then calm down, get excited and then calm down, which is really helpful for puppies right now who don't regulate their own emotions very well. There we go. So we're playing, we have it. Careful. Get it. We're gonna get it. And I'm gonna say, leave it. Yes, take it. And then she gets to take it again. And then we play again, it becomes alive again. It's gonna be a similar concept when we do have our clothes. If they've grabbed our clothes, I think Lauren was doing this earlier. You just gather everything up around it and say, leave it, wait for them to let go. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. So if you have a tug and you can get your puppy interested in your tug, I'll say it again. I would give that a quick go. You're a disaster today, Miss, aren't you? Find it.
Are we giving a treat if they leave their toy, or we're just giving them the
Not
toy
in this
back?
case. In this case, the toy to keep playing is the reward. So I would do do this during play a lot as well. So they learned that they get to have that same thing back that they were enjoying and having fun with before. And then again, in this case too, when you say leave it, you're just going to say leave it once, and you're going to hold it very still, and you're waiting for them to choose to move their face away and their mouth away, and then leave it, and then take it, and then we can make it alive, make it fun, make it playable again.
Morgan's not like, she really wants to play with it for a long time. Like, and then when I try and take it, she takes a really long time to leave it.
Especially if she's particularly riled up right now, that can happen, that they can take a while.
Okay.
Gypsy had a really hard time because she loves to bite and really use her teeth. And when she was really bitten into her toy, it just took me a long time. And even I would begin to even just take, when she sort of loosened her teeth a little bit, I would say, take it and then make it alive again.
Okay.
I would keep a hold of it so that I have control over when we play, when we stop, when we play, when we stop.
Okay. She's going crazy.
I can see her just bouncing around over there. All right, so maybe actually what we'll do, if we've done a few rounds of that, what we'll do now is we will add some food in there as well. Excuse me. And again, I'm going to start with a toy or something that they can have. I'm going to say, it's going to be a very similar thing, but again, I'm not saying take it because you don't get to have that toy back to play with. So I'm going to get her playing, and then when I say leave it and she lets go of it, then I'm going to remove that toy behind my back and I'm going to give a treat, and then I can bring the toy back out again and start playing again. But I'm not going to say take it. I'm just going to say yes, because the treat's coming instead. This is something that obviously you will use for your clothing when they have that. Same idea, toy goes dead. I'm going to say leave it. I'm going to hold it all very still, so hopefully we don't get any more holes in our clothing as it gets ripped apart. So they're not ripping it. The moment they leave it, yes, treat comes out, and then obviously they don't get that toy. They wouldn't then get your clothes back, but we are going to bring the toy back so we can practice a couple of repetitions on it. I'll see if I can get her instead. I don't think she's going to play the game today. No, thank you. No, thank you. She's not playing, so I'll let you guys just have a go with that. But when you are removing that toy and you're giving a treat, remove the toy entirely from them so they can't even see it again. Give that treat and then bring the toy back in. So it's a whole new repetition. Find it. I'm just gonna grab one more thing. I'll be right back. All right. Did we lose a wheel? Yep. Oh dear.
She loves these. They're from Melissa and Doug, and they're like soft cars for babies. But
Oh,
we get 4 of them in a pack, and so we already threw 2 out, like from before we got her, but we had 2 left, and so she plays with it for quite a while before then it kind of gets destroyed. So
showing us too. It's wonderful.
yeah, she really likes them.
That's brilliant. All right, so if we've done that, we've kind of had a bit of a play there anyway when we would, oh my goodness, well, when we were just working on that. So if you have something, the last thing I wanted to talk about with Leave It and our offs and taking things away from our puppies is doing more of a trade game. So when our puppy does have something that they really want or they're really enjoying, whether that's something they should be having or not is not really up to, that doesn't really decide whether how much they like it. What we really want to be teaching them is that most of the time when I take things from you, you're going to get something back instead. Because what we really don't want to happen is for us to just take things from their mouth or so often that at some point our puppy just turns around and says, you know what, no, not this time. And that's when we start to get some of that resource guarding may come up, where they're just sort of saying, you know what, no, I don't want this anymore. And so practicing trading for them is or trading out and trading back in again is a really nice way of sort of say putting trust in like a trust bank for them. So the more times that we take something away from them that they like, they get something better, they get something as well, and then they often get that thing back. The more when we do have to sort of take something quickly out of their mouth, like a piece of glass or something they really shouldn't have, it's not going to be as detrimental to them. It's not going to take too much trust out of that trust bank. We've already put lots of good experiences of me taking things off you into the system. And so the way I would do this is if your pup is really has a toy, what we were just doing there with a couple of treats, toy comes back, couple of treats, toy comes back. That's one way of doing it. So we're learning that when we take things from you, we're going to get good things back and even get that thing back that we really enjoy. What you can also do is if your puppy is quite happy with you being around them. I see Morgan's totally happy chewing on something there and having people pet her. So I don't see her being worried about you being around when you have those things. But if your puppy is working on, say, a chew or a Kong even, what I would practice doing is taking that Kong away and giving it right back. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to sprinkle some treats off to the side so that Gypsy moves her head away, gets the treats. I'm going to remove the Kong and then give it right back. So we're practicing that we take it away, we get it back, we take it away, we get it back. There might be that time that if it is something that really shouldn't have, like I don't know what they chew on outside, like a piece of pizza outside, I'm going to sprinkle those treats. So she's got him, she'll move her head away, grab that thing instead, and then I can kick that pizza away. And then, yeah, good job, find it. And then we can move away from that thing that they shouldn't have instead. I'm obviously not going to give that thing back. And so I'll have my Kong up here. And this is what we would call the trade game, because we're trading out for something else. Put you on the floor here so you can see a bit easier. So I'm going to give Gypsy her Kong because she really likes it. We hope she doesn't go anywhere. And then when she's sort of enjoying it, I'm going to Gypsy, this. I'm going to remove it. We'll let us scuffle up some things. And then you get the Kong right back. And it seems kind of silly. It seems kind of arbitrary, kind of a bit unusual, but it's just teaching her that, hey, you can let go of things that you really like and I'm going to take them, but you get to have them back too, and that's fine. Believe it or not, Gypsy, when we first got it, did actually bite me and was a bit more of a resource guarder. I think just naturally, because it was the middle of the night and I took something out of her mouth that she didn't want me to take out of her mouth, and so she did bite me. She's only a baby, so it didn't hurt or anything, but she was not happy with me taking things out of her mouth or taking things away from her. So this kind of game of practicing taking things away, have it back, take it away, have it back, is a really nice way to keep that resource guarding. If it was ever going to materialize, keep it away, kind of thing. Have them trust us. Oh boy, Cash. Cash's, there we go. He's like, I didn't want to let go of that. I like that. Sometimes you have to really make it worth their while to let go of that thing. Particularly if and I'm not suggesting at all that Cashew has this, but in some puppies that we have, if they already are showing a little bit of worry about things being taken away from them, sometimes I have dumped entire treat pouches on the ground to be like, okay, you need to not swallow that thing right now, because what can happen especially with resource guarding of things like toys is when you go up to them to take that thing off of them, they know that you're about to take it off them, and so they start to chew more and try and inhale it. And obviously we don't want that to happen if it is something that should not be eaten, like a toy or a piece of glass. The other thing that I would always suggest too is whenever your pup does have something that they maybe shouldn't have, is try not to make a big deal out of it. The moment we start running over and be like, no, wait, you get that back, they're like, oh, this is great, you really want this, I like this makes it so much more better, I'm going to run with it. And so as much as you can, trying to stay calm and be like, oh, that's my really expensive bag, what have you got there, puppy, come over here, and just make it kind of so you can get over to them. It's more playful. It's not going to be something that they're then going to worry about or guard away from you. I've even done it sometimes if she has a toy and I'm not sure she has a toy, or if I can see that it is, I'm like, what do you have? Is that just your toy? And I may practice taking that off her, give her something and then else, and then give her something back too, just to kind of practice that. It's not that association of suddenly like that big intake of breath and oh no, what are you doing, let that go, kind of thing. Especially out on the street too. When you realize it is a chicken bone, you're gonna go in there and get the chicken bone out. It's just never very fun. Have you guys has everybody been pretty good about no one's had any issues with taking things off of their pup, or are there any obsessions that our puppies have with like sticks, leaves, dryer lint, anything like that?
Everything.
Scout loves everything outside, eating rabbit poo, sticks, leaves, plants from the garden. And then inside, we had to raise our cubby bins because she'll grab she loves knit stuff. So she'll grab the hats and mitts, and she knows she's being naughty. Like she knows that's not okay, but she'll get in, grab them, and then run and really guard that. And then we were just practicing with my slippers, because my slippers are her favorite thing. She chews them on me.
Yeah.
She tries to get their UGG slipper. She tries to get the lining and eat that. She really wants to eat it. And so she did it okay today, but
She's about to get through the
like giving them up.
she has to take the layer of yogurt. See?
Something else I was going to say is to practice with novel cooking. So if your pup is, and we will do this in a couple of weeks, where I'm going to get you to bring some items like that to the class. But we're going to practice with things like tissue or laces or mittens. When you're practicing with that, what I would probably do is go back to sort of step one, obviously with you can't encase it in your one hand, it's a big slipper, but if you can sort of cover it up as much as you can so she can't get to it, leave it. When she leaves it, we obviously would get a treat elsewhere, maybe even a treat away. So running away from it is more fun and playful. And then when she does grab those mittens and stuff, trying to be just more, oh, what did you get there? Let me see what did you have? Can I have that back? Just letting her know that, and even keeping that tone of voice similar to the one that you use.
I think that this class is
appropriate, so that we're not, because she
Right.
can even pick up on, oh, she's got that tone of voice again, that really overly happy tone of voice. I know what that means too.
Yeah.
Keep it,
And I know, and talking about
Oh,
teething,
no,
and
she's breaking through the
just
yogurt.
got to the point where she can actually destroy stuff too.
yeah, if she likes to destroy stuff, oh, I was going to suggest something that we normally would suggest, which I don't think we can do right now because it's closed, is even going to somewhere like Value Village and buying some of the really cheap, cute stuffies that are not cute, not the cute ones. We don't want her to destroy those. That would be weird. But getting a bunch of like cheap stuffies to let her destroy, if she really likes to pull stuffing out of things, getting something that she can destroy. So she's getting that outlet out if she has a need to. Another thing for dogs that like to destroy stuff. I don't know if you've seen these rubber balls with holes in them. You can actually stuff. I have a bunch of old socks that I will have holes in, and I can just stuff my socks, stuff this ball full of socks, put a couple of pieces of kibble in, and then she can tear this apart as much as she likes and pull the socks out and or even paper like paper bags even, or what's it called? Paper, just paper. Yeah. The stuff from, I guess the stuff, I was trying to think of the stuff from
Like tissue paper.
gift paper, whatever it is. Stuff that they can really pull out and destroy. It makes a mess, but it gives them that outlet, and then they're less likely to go and then destroy something they shouldn't destroy, because they get the chance to destroy something that they can destroy instead. And you give them a, not that, but this. I like that one too. If I notice that she's in a mood to destroy things and pull things off and do that sort of action.
Yeah, her family room dog bed is destroyable, and which is very disappointing for a dog bed. And so she gets to the corner, and it's kind of like the sheepskin lining.
Yeah.
And then stuffing inside, so she loves chewing on it, and so she's ripped every corner, and I've sewed every corner. And then just this morning, she successfully ripped through one of my redos. But again, I didn't tell her to leave her dog bed because she's allowed to keep her beds, right?
That's a tricky one when it's something like that.
Yeah.
I know I have seen like leathery type toys. I don't know where I saw them, but that might be something that if she really enjoys that sort of like the corners of linings and stuff, that could be a good thing. And then I think I even had an old cat bed that I think was from like Dollarama that the cats had ordered. There was already a few holes in it, and she got a hold of it and just tore it apart. And I just decided, you know what, that's fine. You can just tear that apart, and I'll.
Okay, that's cute.
Anybody else having issues with chewing and biting on specific things? Any gut? No issues of like
We have
having it and I'm growling at you or anything like that.
We have trouble with Morgan, like taking toys like in the downstairs, the kids' toys like Legos and stuff. And then if you try and get it out from her mouth, she runs away and she like thinks it's a game. And I can't get her, like, because she, you know what I mean? When you end up doing the circle, and she's quite smart. So.
One of the sort of one of the trickiest things about that is one of the worst things we can do when a pup has something and runs away from us is to then chase them, because then it does become that fantastic game of, oh, they're after me now, catch me if you can. What I might try and do in those is try and get her to come to you by either you running away and have her chase you when she catches you, it's oh hey, or find it. What you could do if you have maybe in that downstairs room, have a jar of tasty treats, so like the liver bites or whatever, and then if she does pick up something, you have that to hand very easily, and you can be like, oh, find it, and do a whole bunch of find its, and for her to do those find its, she has to let go of that toy to then do those find its, and she's coming to you then. So we're breaking up that I'm chasing you for that thing now.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Give that go. And Cashew?
he's pretty similar to Scout, it sounds like he'll go
Just
after slippers, and if we drop a napkin or Kleenex, like he goes right for the paper and
Yeah.
starts. I do try and take it away from him because he'll start to chew it and try and eat it. But otherwise, he doesn't seem to be like destroying any of his. So
That's
that's
good.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, so with that tissue and stuff, what I would do again, and again, we'll revisit this in a couple of weeks and see where everybody's at, but I might as well give you, if it's struggling with it now, that off and that leave it that we were doing with the treat in our hand. So we do the off, leave it, and then the yes, and then we would reward with another treat. You could go ahead and do that with tissue. So I would go and grab a Kleenex or a napkin, put it in your hand, close it up as much as you can. We do the off and the leave it. We start right back at that square one with the off or the leave it, and then reward with the other hand when they let go of it. With the other hand, with the treat from behind your back or the treat from somewhere else. And then again, we would do that next. Once we're very good at doing that, we do the next step of opening it up. Opening up our hand, and again, stay off of it when it's in my hand. That's a good place to start for the next couple of weeks, and maybe we can revisit the next sort of step in making it harder next week.
Okay.
If that makes sense. But yeah, just
practice.
practicing
Yeah.
with some novel items. Puppies don't tend to generalize very well. They don't, just because I said leave it to a treat, might not then generalize to the socks and the shoes and everything else. And so the more we can practice with different novel items, the more it's going to become more generalized. And I think we've talked about that before in terms of like training while sitting down in front of them versus standing up. It's a different picture. It's also a different picture with the different items. So practicing with as many different items as you can comfortably and easily will really help him to figure out what he can chew and can't chew. That teddy bear is as big as Scout.
Well, case in point, it's a lion and she's just chewing off the lion's mane.
Of course. Yeah.
She's
Okay.
had this toy since she came home, and like none of her toys have had any damage. And then this week, the duck's tail feathers have been bitten off, and she chews on them like it's like a felt, right? So she chews and chews. And if I don't catch it and get it from her mouth, which I can get anything from her mouth I want.
Yeah.
If I don't catch it, she usually doesn't swallow it. I usually find the fabric somewhere.
Yeah, most of the time what they just like to do is just pull it apart, which is why giving them something that they can pull apart often can help alleviate that a little bit, because it's like, well, don't do it here, but now do it here. And what I'm wondering, you said it's worse this week, is if it is a bit of teething issue, especially if she's going for like the corners of things or the felty things or the harder edges of things, excuse me. And so what I would do again is that idea with get a couple of old rags, old socks with holes in, soak it in a little bit of like low sodium chicken broth, put it in the freezer, and then, or even a rope toy, same idea. It's soothing, it's cooling, it might just give her that give and that what she needs to kind of help soothe her teeth a little bit. Because that could be what's going on. It could be a bit of a teeth.
And we've been doing that with her little rope toys. So, and I've been giving her some old little towels. So I'll put a few more of them in the freezer, because then we do it, and then then all of a sudden you have nothing left in the freezer. And right now she's ringing the bells. So
okay, pee time.
going out.
All right.
On that note.
On that note, with everybody else, what I was thinking we would do is do a little bit of a on your place, which we did last week, I think. So adding a little few distractions in for that. Last week we were doing on your place. We'll be doing we revisited it last week. I think we were doing some movement. Is that correct? So we're stepping away, stepping back, stepping forward, stepping back. So this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a loud squeaky toy. I'm going to get you to put your puppy on their place. I'm going to squeak a squeaky toy, a loud squeaky toy. If your pup ignores it and can stay laying still, mark and reward that onto their place. We'll start adding in some noise. If they completely ignore it and they haven't even seemed like they've noticed it, maybe grab your own squeaky toy and do that from behind your back. Just do one squeak from behind your back just to make that that noise distraction. So we've had some movement last week, we did some noise this week. So if we can get puppies onto their places, Mr. Cashew, I'll take a sit from him. If you won't do it down, that's fine. And I'm just gonna squeak my toy. I'll wait for Sky to get back into her nice down. Wait for this. Get Sky into her place. Perfect. And I'm going to squeak. I would definitely reward Mr. Cashew too. He didn't move. He stayed still. So he stayed on his place, even though he was alert. He did not come running over to the screen. So I would definitely reward that. So I'm gonna do that one more time. So we get back into our places and lay down if we can.
Cashew's asking for a bathroom trip too, so keep going.
Okay. I'll do one more for Sky and Morgan then, and then we will call it a day. I feel like everybody's asking for a bathroom break, and Gypsy is desperately trying to get the snacks that are in front of her. So we have Sky and Morgan nice and still. I'm going to do my squeak again. Good job. So I reward them for staying still. Fantastic. And that's something you guys can be doing as well. Did you eat that? No, can I have that? Yeah, thank you. Case in point, eating disgusting things. You can be doing that as well when they're on their place. You can be adding in squeaks if they like squeakers. You can be adding in sort of knocking on the wall behind you, so to imitate like knocking going on. Make all kinds of sounds as well around them. I would start off with like a quiet squeak from behind my back, not a very obvious I have a toy. I would do a very quiet sort of squeak behind my back if they can ignore that a minute. And stay still, mark and reward them for staying still in their place. So add in some noise distractions as well this week. Okay, anybody have any questions or anything? Any other questions? Okay, perfect. Everyone did really good today. Today, that's officially the end of class. Everyone else wants a pee break, so it kind of seems like a good time to do it. So yeah, practice those leave-its, those offs this week. If there's no other questions, if you have questions or cute pictures or anything like that, please feel free to send them in the WhatsApp group in the chat.
Megan, I have a question for you after, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. The other thing, just to mention, I think we're able to not do socializations right now, but I think we're starting up our adventure walks again. They're going to be a limit of 4 people per class, because we only allow like 5 people outside, and it would be a very brief. It's not like a social where puppies can play together, but it's one where we would go to an environment like a woodland area or something where there's some things to play around with. We get them jumping up on things, off of things, practicing some of our skills. We can say hi briefly, walk away, practice concentrating, practice working with us when there's other stuff going on around. So that's something I think we're starting that up again on Saturday mornings and Sunday afternoons, in between Mississauga and Burlington, like various locations. So if that's something you're interested in doing, getting them to meet other dogs that way, it's kind of the next best thing we can do right now with the lockdown. So just thought I'd let you know. All right, see you all next week, and I'll stay on the line with Dina there.
Thank you.
Bye.
So we wanted to ask about like the walk training, because I know you guys advertise like you know, a certain price for so many walks, but I went online to try and book it and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah,
and so
we just fixed that, because I did the same thing. I couldn't find where they put it in the system. I think right now we're doing it as like a training pack, because we're finding that just 1 or 2 walks isn't really going to be enough to see a difference. Doing the pack of 6 for 225, so it works out as like 5 walks for the price of 6. To book it, you would just email us and then we can book you, or you buy the pack. I can send you the link to the package if you want. You buy the package and then one of us would get in contact with you, because there's a few trainers that we have. One of our trainers isn't able to walk the big dogs now, so she's taking on more of the puppies. But I would, if she ends up taking Morgan on, I would obviously fill her in with everything, and she would be in contact with you to find out what you wanted to work on. It's not, unfortunately, right now. It's not. It would be us coming in, taking Morgan. I think we do like we even use our own leashes just to limit contact. So you would let her come out. We would clip our leash in, and then we would take her up for 30 minutes herself. We do have like GoPro action cam type thing, so we can record some of the walking and stuff to just let you know what we're doing, and then we would check in with you and tell you what to work on
Where's the
and
Kong?
how we've been working on it.
I don't know. Did you take it off?
Okay, so you guys take her, we don't come at all.
No, yeah.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah.
And then you would tell us after what we need to work on.
Yeah, and we'll try and take, we have those action cams to take video, so you can at least see what's going on. It's just with we can't be seen. I think we don't fall under, it's not official dog walking with the COVID rules. So if we're seen to be like training people, it's not allowed or something. And we're really careful.
Okay. Okay. And then the other thing is, she's jumping a lot, like she's playing, but she'll jump at her face, like especially, and then on my youngest daughter, she's gotten her kind of around the eye here a couple times with her tooth. I guess, is there any way to stop that?
Other than every time it happens, we get up and walk away. The other thing is, if it's in play and you notice that, like with that car toy, you could see her starting to get really excited. She was just like, "Roar," and I think you said yourself, she's off on one right now. When we start to see that, that's probably the times that she may start to escalate into that jumping. And so what I would maybe do in those cases is practice a leave it. So grab that toy, do a leave it, do a find it, do a touch, something to bring her back down again, so we don't escalate to the high jumping up at our face.
Okay. Yeah, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
De-escalate.
Try
Need
and
to
cut it off
de-escalate.
before she gets too excited to jump. And if that's when you're seeing it mostly,
Yes.
she's just getting too like, and then she's just, you're not doing enough, I must bite your eyes out or something. This to get your attention, kind of thing. So yeah, try and cut it off beforehand, and then if it does happen, we get up, we walk away, nothing else. No more fun time happens with us right now.
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you so much.
No worries. I'll send you the link to the training plan if you wanted to. I think there's more information on it on there. And then we book a time with you that suits you if you're interested.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
She's like cuddling with me. So- All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Good girl.